Today we will tell you a wonderful story about a sad duckling. Luckily, it has a happy ending. The Ugly Duckling, story by Hans Christian Andersen, adapted and narrated by myself. It was a beautiful summer's day. The sun shines warmly on an old house near the river. Behind the house, a mother duck was sitting on her eggs. One by one, all of the eggs broke open, all except one. This was the biggest egg of all. At last it broke open and out comes the last baby duck. It looked big and strong. It was grey and ugly. They all went to the river to swim and play. The ugly duckling swam better than the rest. Later they went to the farmyard, which was very noisy. The ugly duckling was not welcomed. The hens pecked him, the rooster flew at him, the ducks bit him, and the farmer kicked him. So he decided to run away from all the nasty farm animals. He ran and ran until finally he came to a river. There he saw lots of beautiful big birds. Their feathers so white, their necks so long, their wings so pretty. The duckling looked at them. How he wished that he too could be as beautiful as them. Now it's winter. Everything is white with snow. The river is covered with ice. The duckling was very cold and unhappy. Luckily, along came a kind farmer. He picked him up from the ice and took him home to his warm house. There he stayed all through the winter. He was warm and safe. But soon it was springtime, and the farmer returned him to the river. There he saw the beautiful swans again. He so much wanted to swim with them. But he was too afraid and worried that they would shoo him away. That went on for quite a while, but then he plucked up the courage and decided to join them. He ran into the river and looked into the water. There he saw a swan. But why is he so close? He looked around and there was no one there. He looked again. Is that me? Can it be? Am I a swan? I'm a swan! I'm a swan! I'm not an ugly duckling no more. Yes, he had changed from the grey ugly duckling and grown into a beautiful swan. That's the end of this wonderful story. It has such a fantastic happy ending. I love this story, Floppy. What about you? I loved it too, and it really was beautiful. And it also has a moral. Never judge someone just by their appearance. Bye-bye! Today's story is about a prince searching for his princess. The Princess and the Pea. There was once a prince who wished to marry a princess. But of course, she must be a real princess. He travelled far, hoping to find his princess, but there was always something not quite right. He found plenty, but he couldn't decide if they were real or not. He returned to the palace, tired and unhappy. He wished so much to have a real princess for his wife. One evening, a fearful tempest arose. It thundered, lightened, and poured with rain. That night, there was a violent knocking on the castle door. The king went to open it himself. It was the princess. She was in a sorry state. Her clothes were wet through due to the storm. She said to the king, "I'm a real princess," and the king allowed her into the castle. There she met the queen. Again she said, "I'm a real princess." "Ah, we will see about that," thought the old queen. She said nothing about what she was going to do. She took off the bedclothes and put 3 little peas on the bedstead. She then laid 20 mattresses on top of each other, over the top of the peas, and then 20 feather beds over the mattresses. Upon this bed, the princess would spend the night. The next morning, the queen asked the princess how was her sleep. "Oh, queen, I slept very badly indeed. I have hardly slept all night. I do not know what was in that bed, but I felt something underneath me. It was hurting me. I'm sure I must be black and blue all over." The queen announced that only a real princess could have such a delicate sense of feeling, and therefore allowed her to marry the prince. The prince was very happy, as he had now found a true princess and, of course, a wife. The 3 peas, however, were now kept in a cabinet where they are still to be seen, unless someone ate them. That's the end of this wonderful story. Did you like the story, Floppy? Yes, I loved it, but I'm not sure if it can be true. How could she feel 3 tiny peas through all those mattresses? Yes, I was wondering that also. What do you think, kids? Is it true? Bye-bye!